Hey guys, it's me again. Today, I'm going to be doing something that's been requested a couple times in the past couple weeks, and I've been meaning to do it for a while now, and that is an updated manga collection video. Now, the reason this has taken me a while to do is because my collection has gotten so big that, again, that alone is a problem, I guess. It's so big that takes a lot of time to do a video of already. But not only that, but the way I have it stored, it's so precise that everything's in certain places so that it fits so perfectly. And if I screw that up, putting it back, then I might not be able to fit it all there, and it might screw up my storage. So I'm a little worried about screwing that up. And then also, because it's so big, I have it in like 3 different spots. So this is gonna be a really tedious video for me to make, but you guys wanted to see it, so I'll make it nonetheless. So I don't want to say I have a good way to go about doing this, but I have what's going to be the best way and what's going to work for me, so that's what we're going to do. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I'm just going to grab what's closest to me off my shelf. The first series I have here is actually one that I am currently caught up on, but that will only last for a couple more months, and that is Watamote. So I will start showing you guys all the volumes of that, and I'm going to try to do this so I can stack them on top of each other in the way I found them and then just put them back when I'm done. So, first up we have, actually, okay, I'm trying to think of a way to do this, but that's backwards, the way I was just going to do, so. Okay, this is difficult. I've got to figure this stuff out, because if I screw this up, it's going to really ruin my storage system that I came up with, and then yeah, that's just a lot of work for me, so I have to be really careful with this. But anyways, here's the first volume in this collection video. That is Watamote Volume 1. This series I've been reading for a while now. It's actually one of my favorite series I've read in a while. It's about this girl right here. Her name's Tomoko Kuroki, and it starts with her going into high school. And with her, she's a normal kid for the most part, except no matter what she does, she can't make friends for the life of her. She can barely even socialize at first. And she just goes into high school, she's trying to make friends, but it just doesn't work out for her. But then eventually, she slowly does start to get better at socializing and all that as the series goes on. And where we are now, I think we're almost at the end of the series, because she's getting up in her years in high school, so before long I think she'll be graduating. So it's a little sad that it's come to that point, because this is a great series, and it's sad to see that it's ending soon. Or, I don't know, maybe they'll go into college. I've never seen an anime or manga do that before, though, so it's kind of unlikely, but who knows, maybe Watamote will be the first. And yes, I know someone's going to point out if I don't clarify this. On the cover, I know it doesn't say Watamote. It says, no matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular. Well, Watamote is the Japanese name, and I don't know about you, but if I had to pick between saying either Watamote or no matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular, every time, I'd much rather say Watamote. It's much quicker, and, when I can remember the Japanese names, I like to use them just because technically, if you think about it, that's the actual name, and then whatever we have for an English name is just the translated version. So if I know the Japanese version and I can remember it, I typically try to use that. Unless it's just something that sounds a lot cooler in English, but with this, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Plus, I mean, grammatically, the title for this doesn't make it the most sense. Or maybe it does, I don't know. Yeah, I get... See, my big thing is, I don't know if it's you guys' or your guys', I don't know. But either way, it's Japanese. We can excuse any mistakes, because at the end of the day, it is anime and manga, and we can't complain. It's still great, regardless. But yeah, now I'm just going to keep showing the rest of this series. And yeah, this series is actually one of my bigger ones. There aren't too many series that I have this many volumes of, but I really stuck with this one. I've had a lot of fun with it. And I don't know if I'll ever watch the anime for this. This does have an anime. From what I understand, it's supposed to be pretty good, actually. But I just don't know if I'll ever get around to watching it, because I already don't watch a whole lot of anime as it is, because I don't have Crunchyroll Premium, and their ads on there are just unbearable because there's so many of them. So if it's not on Netflix, I usually don't watch it. Plus, if I've read it in manga form, then that's even less reason. That gives me even less of a reason to watch it because I've already read it. So, yeah. Wait, I think I just realized something. I'm gonna check something right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think a character. I think I noticed that a character's hair color changed. That's all I had to check. But and then here's volume 12. There's one more after this currently. Wait, one more. That can't be right. Where's... Maybe 14's the one that's on pre-order. Okay. Because I have 13 right here. I thought that 14 was on... I thought I had 14 and 15 was on pre-order. But, no, I guess not. But, that's a little strange. But, okay. So, yeah, there's Watamote. Pretty big series so far. Hopefully it keeps going for a while. I don't think that's too likely, but you never know, I guess. So, let me just put this to the side where it's not going to get in my way a whole bunch. And then I think I'll do Yuru Camp next, just so that way, because this is what's under Watamote on my shelf. So, here it is. Here's Volume 1. This series is, simply put, it's about a bunch of girls who go camping. That's about as basic of a description as you can get for this series. It is a healing anime, so the great thing about healing anime is nothing ever goes wrong, it seems. So, if you live a stressful life and you want a series that you can just watch or read and know that you're not gonna get stressed about it, you can just relax, this series is totally for you. It's great. I have all the volumes that are out except, actually, I think there might be another volume out that I just need to buy. But I have. If that's the case, there's only one I don't have then. And if it's not available yet, I know it's on pre-order, but yeah, this series is really good. I actually remember when I watched the anime, it was a series that my friend Austin and I binge-watched all in one night because I was spending the night at his house and he had seen it and he told me it was really good. So we watched the entire thing. We did take breaks, though, and we went for walks outside at like midnight and stuff. And it was great because the music on this show is so peaceful and relaxing, and he just so happened to have it downloaded on his phone. I think it was the whole soundtrack, and so we were listening to that as we were walking. And there's this one, the whole song is just whistling, so we would start to whistle after walks. We'd heard it so many times that we knew the whole thing. And then we were, yeah, we probably looked like idiots walking around at midnight listening to the stuff from this, but it was fun nonetheless. But yeah, so I have a lot of great memories with this series. It's one of my favorites. With it being a healing anime though, and manga, I have noticed that there's something on my bookshelf. Let me get that. I have noticed before that it doesn't hold my attention as well as some other series, like say My Hero Academia or something that has a lot of action and stuff, because with it being a healing anime, nothing goes wrong, so there's no suspense, there's nothing to really do a good job at holding your attention a whole bunch. So, there's that, but as long as you just give it time and try to stay committed to it, it's not too hard. Okay, well, this next series, actually, what was that? Okay. Well, I have a story for this series. So, my mom went to a local bookstore one day, and she was looking for some manga, just because she figured since she was getting books there, she might as well try to find some. And, she found this. She had no idea what it was. She took it to the counter, she was like, "Oh, my son loves this stuff." She got it for me, brought it home. That series is Antique Bakery. This series is about a bunch of gay guys who own a bakery. Now, well, it's also really lewd. The lewdness aside, though, it's pretty good. It definitely makes me hungry for desserts because the food in here looks amazing, and the manga they have these covers here. Some of them have scratch and sniff on them. Now, with these being old and used, they don't work too well, but that's still a cool idea. that they did there with the scratch and sniff. That's awesome. And if it worked, I'm sure I would like doing that. But yeah, I never really read a whole lot of this series just because at the end of the day, regardless of how good the food looked, it still was really weird. And yeah, so I just kind of gave up on that series. But here's a series that I did not give up on, and that I actually, no, I don't think I ordered, no, I did not order the next volume of this. This is another series that's still going. I thought I ordered the next volume of this, but no, I just talked about it with my friend. So this series is another one I read a while back. It's another really good one. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. And that is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This series is, for the most part, about this girl right here. Her name is Kobayashi. And one day she meets this girl right here. Her name's Toru. And she's actually a dragon, believe it or not. Like, she can turn into a dragon. And so I think she saves her or something while she's drunk. And so Toru becomes her maid. And then after a while there are more dragons that she meets. And it's basically a slice of life manga about her and these dragons. And if you are familiar with the internet, you know who this is. This is Kana, the probably, it's probably safe to say, the most looted character on the internet from any anime or manga, because it seems like everyone just loves to loot Kana and the dragons as a whole. I've never really gotten that, but probably because I'm not into lollies. I'm sorry to any of you who are, but I for one am not. I don't know. It's just like they look like kids, so I'll never understand why people are like, "Ooh, that's hot." No, that looks like a kid. That's not. That shouldn't be hot to you. That's a kid. Even if they're like 50 or something, like one of those lollies that's way older than they look, still, they look like a kid, so I'll never understand that. If someone wants to try to explain to me why that's good and why lollies are great, go for it. I'd be interested to hear what someone who likes them has to say, but I've just never understood it. I don't know if I ever will. And from what I understand, the manga goes way past the anime. Like, if I remember correctly, I believe, last I checked, this character wasn't even in the anime. This is only volume 4 of the manga, so yeah, the manga goes way past it. I had a friend read volume 1, and I think he said that went past where the anime was. So, I don't know, I haven't seen the anime. I wouldn't mind watching it. Yeah, see, that's from the mail. This got all this guck and stuff in the mail. That's how that came. So, I don't even remember what that was, but that was weird. Oh, and then you have everyone's favorite lesbian lolly couple right there. Because what's better than lollies? Lesbian lollies who love each other. That's what's better. Yeah. And then here's volume 6. See, this guy right here, I can't remember his name, but he's really cool. There's a lot of great characters in this series, actually. And it's great because at one point or another, most of them hate each other, or a lot of them hate each other, and then they come to be friends. And these two right here are a great example. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but when they first meet each other, some stuff goes down, and it's pretty crazy. So, yeah, this series overall, though, is really great. I do really love it. And, oh gosh, now I have to take out one of my biggest series. Okay, I'm going to try to find a good way to take this one out, because there's so much. Okay, here, I'm going to have to take this out in like 3 different parts right here, just because of its huge size. That's what she said. But, okay, and all my other stuff's falling because there's so much open space on my shelf now. So, let me find volume 1. Okay, so, here, this is a series. If you're familiar with my channel, you're probably familiar with this series because I've done a lot of videos on it. I've talked about it a lot. And that series is My Hero Academia. This series is huge. This series is great. It's about a school for people. Well, in this world, almost everyone has superpowers. If you don't, you're kind of weird. But this series starts out and it takes place at a school for kids with superpowers. And the main character here, his name is Midoriya, or Deku. When he starts out in the series, he has no powers whatsoever. Until he meets his idol, right here, All Might, who has him do a lot of training and eat a piece of his hair, and then there you go, he's got superpowers. So, yeah, if you thought One Punch Man was the only series where superheroes had to do something with hair to get superpowers. Yeah, no, this one also does it, except instead of losing hair, you have to eat it. So, yeah, another great series, tons of awesome characters in this, tons of awesome story arcs. The series is just great. I know it has an anime. I know the anime is actually going on, like, is it like fourth season? The third or fourth season, I think the anime is going on, so that's a big accomplishment for the anime. That's really awesome. I might just have to get into watching the anime at some point. I know everyone tells me I should, but I just don't know when I get around to doing that. And oh my gosh, I'm looking at my camera right here and how much space I have left on it. I might actually have to make this collection video a two-part thing. So if I do end up having to do a two-part video with this, then I'm sorry. But I'll try to get as much as I can into this one. But yeah, this series right here, this is so good. This one usually if I'm going this long with a series, I kind of lose interest after a while, but I think one of the things that helped me maintain interest in this series was after a while, I got this idea from a friend of mine, Rerun Ransom. Check him out. He told me after a while that I should just do nothing but read My Hero Academia, because usually when I get my manga in the mail, I have like 3 different series, but he told me I should just stop reading those ones for a while and do nothing but binge My Hero Academia, just because it's that good, and plus, you know, it's so big, that would give me a good way to catch up, and I did manage to catch up. There's actually a new volume out right now. I need to get it sometime. I think I'll probably get that at some point, because what I want to do is I'd like to just wait until there's a few series that I've read before that have new volumes out, and then one day just order the new volumes of all those series, so that way it's kind of like something I would have done a long time ago, getting those 3 series or whatever. So, I don't know, that'll be fun for me, I think, to revisit all these old series that I read a while ago. I don't know who's ringing a bell, but yeah, we're about halfway. We're about halfway done with this series now, as far as this collection video goes, because I don't know how much more they're going to come out with of this. Hopefully it's a lot, because this series is amazing. I don't really see why there would be too big of a problem with that either, just because with a series like this, full of people with superpowers and stuff, that character's awesome. Whenever I talk to people about her, no one knows who she is, but that character's one of my favorites. Very underrated. But, yeah, this series has a lot of potential still, I think, even though it's been going for as long as it has. Just because with a series like this, you can never really run out of ideas, and if you do, just pick something that might even if it sounds stupid, just try it, and with characters like these in a world like this, it's probably not going to be as dumb as you think. I do have to apologize, though, because I'm sure you guys can hear my sisters trying to sing. Keyword trying. Yeah, it seems like every time I upload a video, I almost think they know that I'm uploading, and they're like, okay, let's try to ruin it. So, sorry that seems to be a frequent thing nowadays. I don't know what their problem is, but anyway, here's volume 11. And another thing this series does really well is the covers on the manga look so good. Like, look at this. Tell me that doesn't look awesome right there. That is cool. And then, okay, I thought I heard something, but then see this volume I like right here, because this one almost reminds, oh, that's upside down. This one almost reminds me of like an old manga. I don't know why, but this one, every time I see it, it looks like something old. And I don't know why that is, but I've always thought that was cool. So I've always liked this one, just for that cover, you know. And yeah, these all have cool covers, though. And then, like right here, look at this one. You see these two, this is how you get a rivalry right in an anime. Because I know a lot of times you'll see anime that try to have like 2 rival characters, and it just isn't very believable at times, but these 2 right here, Bakugo and Deku, that's a great one. I love them. They actually fight a few times in the manga, and I'd assume the anime also. And that's always fun to watch. And yeah, just 2 very cool characters. They go very well together. They're a great team when they want to be, but then also they're just great at, well, Bakugo hates Deku, but Deku doesn't really hate Bakugo, so there's that whole thing. Like SpongeBob and Squidward, kinda. Except SpongeBob and Squidward don't quite try to kill each other, typically. well, Squidward doesn't try to kill. Actually, maybe he does. Never mind. Bad analogy. This is, after all, I mean, you know, I was thinking, well, SpongeBob's an anime. You know, we all know SpongeBob's the best anime there ever was, so just thought I'd try to reference that in one way or another while we're doing a video about anime and manga, because where would we be without SpongeBob? Yep, best anime. Well, no. SpongeBob's the second best anime. The best anime is Cory in the House by far. Nothing will ever top that, but SpongeBob comes close. Yeah. So we're about done with this series, actually. Yeah. See, that's one of my concerns for the anime. Like, you can't tell me she's wearing anything. Like, you can't tell me her opie aren't just hanging out. So, I don't know how I would feel about watching an anime with a character like that, because, you know, I'd be watching it and you know someone's gonna walk in at the worst time and be like, oh, what kind of hentai are you watching there? And it's like, no, it's not hentai, it's superheroes. But yeah, that would be an awkward conversation to have, so. And I'm sure it would happen if I watched the anime. So, yeah, what is this? Oh, I have a bookmark in here still. Huh. Well, cool. But, yeah, this series, this is so big, you can't even see it all on camera. That's pretty huge. And the series isn't even done yet, so that's just great. And, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try not to let this stuff fall. And I can't put this stuff back on the shelf yet because there is stuff behind it. And I'm gonna try to get that stuff out now. So, yeah, again, the way I have this stuff all set up is really complicated. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of stuff back here apparently. So, okay. Here's all my manga. You know, I think I'll throw my light novels in this video as well at some point once I get to those. Just because, you know, it's kind of similar. So, this next series is my only Americanized manga. And apparently, I believe I heard this is... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I was told by someone, I can't remember who, is one of the people in my anime community, that this is a Korean manga, I think they said. This is not Japanese at all, so this is just an Americanized version of a Korean manga, I think, which confused me a little bit because it says Tokyo Pop right there, and Tokyo is definitely Japanese, but hey, I'm sure whoever it was that told me that knows more about the series than I do, so I'll trust what they say. And then Volume 2 right here, I have no idea what this series is about. I haven't really read it. It was just another one that I got from my local bookstore because they had the first 4 in the series. Never really got around to reading it. I think part of that was just because it's Americanized, and I don't know, I feel like, oh wow, I feel like reading Americanized manga just feels so weird. It's like, it's not right to left like I'm used to, so it's just really weird feeling. So, yeah, I haven't really read a whole lot of the series. I read like the first chapter or 2, I think. But other than that, I haven't done a whole lot with it. Who knows, maybe I will someday, because who knows, maybe it's really good and I'm missing out a lot on it. Who knows. And then, oh, here's a great series. I don't know why I haven't gotten more of this. I'll definitely have to sometime, because I love this series. This one, I'm sure either no one watching this video has heard of this series, or one person watching this video has heard of this series. That's how, like, I've never heard anyone talk about this series, except the reason I found out about this was I was talking with my friend who lives in Japan. He's always lived there, he's Japanese. I asked him what his favorite manga was, and this is what he said. And that series is Spiral Kyo, as it is called in Japan, or Spiral the Bonds of Reasoning here in the US. It's about this guy here. He's, well, oh gosh, let me try to remember this. Okay. So I remember eventually there's something, his brother, I think, was really cool for some reason, and I don't know. I don't remember a whole lot about this series. It's been a while, so I'm not going to try to give you guys too much about the plot. But I know eventually it comes to the point where there's a lot of murders that are happening, and these two are trying to figure it out. That's all I remember. But it was really good. This is a really old series, too, from what I remember. So, yeah, really old, but definitely worth your time. If you like mysteries and stuff, this is really good. I remember really enjoying this. Again, I don't know why I didn't ever read more of it, because I do really like this series. And who knows, I'll probably pick this back up again in the near future, hopefully. I don't know, well, maybe not near future, because I have a lot of stuff that I'm reading, but sometime I will. And man, these covers just look old. That's great, I love it. And despite the fact that they're so old, the pages are still relatively white. They haven't yellowed much, so that's cool. I don't know who owned these before me. I got them off of Amazon, I believe. So, whoever owned them before me did a pretty good job at taking care of them. And it's really cool to see that things this old have held up this well. That's awesome. Now, for my one light novel series. I have one light novel series, and I don't even have the whole series. I'm just looking at my shelf right now. Everything's falling over. So, this series is a weird one. If you don't like lewdness, don't read this. If you don't like violence, don't read this. If you don't like gore, don't read this. If you don't like profanity, don't read this. If you don't like things that are very dark and potentially disturbing, don't read this. If you don't like... I can't really say that on YouTube. I was about to say something else, but... This series is weird. So, the series is Psycho-May. It's about this guy... What's his name? Okay, let me find his name real quickly. Oh, it is Kyosuke, okay. Where have I've heard that somewhere else before, aside from this. But yeah, Kyosuke gets sent, well, he's taking care of his sister, because it's always been just them, and then one day he got in a fight, I can't even remember why, but he got in a fight for some reason, and then he gets framed for murder. So, the police show up at his house, bust in, and take him. They take him to the school, they say it's to reform murderers and put them back into society as normal people. There's a lot more to it than that, as you find out if you read the series. And it's, again, really dark, really violent, really lewd, really great. So, I definitely need to read more of this series. It is so good. Yeah, as soon as you open these cover pages, too, you're greeted with about as much fan service as you're ever going to see from a series. That's just how lewd these are. And I think with this series, they really push the boundaries of what they can and can't show in series that aren't hentai. Yeah. Oh, and then, you know, this... I haven't read this one yet, this volume, but this cover really concerns me. Especially because I know who that is. And, oh... I don't think I can... I thought of a joke, but I don't think I can make it. Just because I don't want to offend anyone who's been through certain situations. Because if there are people watching this who have been through certain situations that I'm thinking about, then I don't want to offend those people just because I would feel so bad. So, give me some time now. I'm going to put these all back on the shelf, and then I'll get back and we'll go on to my other shelf. Okay, well, actually, I put all my stuff away, but then I looked at the time for recording this. Oh, actually, before I go, here's a manga. I forgot I pulled this out. This is another manga I have. I have Soul Eater Volume 4, because I found it again at my bookstore, and I was familiar with the series, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to get this. I don't have any of the other volumes, but I picked this up, so if I ever do read the series, I already have one of the volumes, but anyways, I just forgot to show that, but what I was going to say was, I looked at the time for recording this. We're going on half an hour almost, so I think I'm just going to end the video here, and I will have to do a part 2, and maybe even a part 3, I'm realizing, because what you saw today wasn't even a half of my collection, so I might have to do a 3-part series, but who knows. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, I will see you guys next time.